Crude oil markets have been a highlight this year. We talked about that. We anticipated that. You see SR CounterTrend 3 crude oil going back 6 months, 12 out of 12. The last 12 trades have been a 12 trades in a row winning streak, up 5,700. And coming into the year, this looked much different. So I want to make sure you understand the perspective of short-term analysis in the market. This is only going back to 11/12/2020. Hang on while I change the date going back to the beginning of 2020, right after we look at some of the more recent trades. You see some of the dip buying that takes place in this strategy. Very strong strategy. We kept it in the 50K portfolio for this reason, because we anticipated a recovery in this type of pattern in the crude oil market. Let's change the date going back to the beginning of 2020, and then we'll look at the history of this strategy. It's important to have a full perspective of what's going on 1/1/2020 versus 6 months back. And now I'm going to pause the video and start it up again when the data is loaded. So going back to the beginning of 2020, we know 2020 was a very unusual year in crude oil with negative crude oil prices. And so you see the drawdown that happened. Where were we at the end of the year? At the end of the year, the equity curve ended right here. This is the last trade for the end of the year, right here where this vertical line is. And this was in the 50K portfolio. And so we made a video showing how we like to have strategies in a drawdown and strategies in a run-up. And this is one of the strategies that was in a drawdown that we anticipated to do well, and so far it has. And so it's had a good breakout, good start to 2021, and the 50K portfolio is profitable on the year after a slow start. And I'm going to show you some of the latest trades in the 50K portfolio in another video. I wanted to show you this crude oil video. I want to show you the results here. We're going to go back now to 2007. I'm going to pause the video and you see a full perspective. Now it's still loading the data. This is not all the data. One of the things you need to look at is the PD up here when that happens. Sometimes the data still needs to be refreshed. After that yellow PD goes away, I'm going to pause the video and show you when that happens again, because it can take a little bit of time. So the yellow PD went away, and this is important during rollover to do this too, because when you roll over to the next contract, you'll see a yellow PD and it'll go away, and you still need to do something. So what else do you need to do when this happens? Because we set the date back to 2007, but the trades are only going back to 2019, and so what you have to do is you have to go format symbol and realize these @CL contracts have to be able to load data for the current front month that haven't loaded before. So all you have to do is do format symbol once the yellow PD goes away, and then close. And now it reloads it again. It's kind of a double step. You can also close and reopen the workspace. So here is the results back to January 1st, 2007. This is with slippage and commission of $25 round turn, $109 average trade profit, one of our top crude oil trading systems. A lot of people like this 71% profitability. I like to have a diversity of strategies. Let's look at the inputs for this. And so the way this strategy works, one of the top crude oil strategies I have is that it will enter trades. Let's look at the entry times. If you want to know what the entry times are, you can format the strategies. They're part of the inputs. And you see it has an $800 stop loss, $500 profit target, and the start time is 7 o'clock. Start time and finish time are the time ranges in which it will take trades. And this is based on Eastern Standard Time. This setup is on exchange time. So 7 a.m. to 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It will not have a day trade exit. It will not close at the end of the day, and it won't close on Friday. So it could hold over the weekend. This is a strategy that will enter trades during the day, but it will hold for an exit overnight. So it won't hold until it either hits the profit target or the stop loss. So one of the things you can do if you're automating strategies and you're outside of this window, if you're monitoring the strategy between 7 a.m. and 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it takes a trade, and then it's after 2 o'clock, what you can do is you can place an OCO order cancels order, for a stop loss and profit target, and turn off automation. And you can manually trade it like that. So you can manually trade the exit. If you're worried about outages, you could submit the order as an order cancels order. And so that is one way to trade SR CounterTrend 3 crude oil for a strategy that takes trades overnight. And you can do that definitely for this strategy. You can't always do that for every strategy because some strategies will re-enter at night and they may enter 24 hours a day. But for this strategy, the entry time frame is during the day, while I can exit anytime during the 24-hour period. And that outside of the entry time, it can be manually managed with an order cancel order directly placed in the order book. That is SR CounterTrend 3 crude oil.